almost finished, or I don't know, it might go lots of different places, but I just kind of thought I would talk about this. This is a huge canvas. I've not been working on it very long at all, but what I wanted to do was something undefined, something not quite abstract, but something that just is the essence of being on a giant empty beach. A few years ago I did a kind of empty beach series, which I'd do one painting in that kind of series. It was only a series in my head, not an official series, but I just felt like returning this. So there's two different reasons. No, there's lots of different reasons, but one, I was working on a painting the other day, and it was so lovely and soft, and because it had detail in half of it, I knew I was going to end up detailing up, but I kind of didn't want to. And I went back and looked at photos that I'd taken in progress, and I was like, oh, I ruined that by adding lots of waves and crests and little marks in the sand. And sometimes you just need to leave it be. So this, it's really just had the first going around the canvas on it, nothing else. So it does need blended down some more, but I can't, and I want to make the sea paler and soften it, but really it's not far off where I want it to be at all. One of the artists, an artist friend of mine once recommended John Schuler to me, and at that point he was having a lot of sort of 50th, he's an American abstract expressionist who spent a lot of time in Scotland, really out in the wilds and kind of buffies up on the coast up on the west coast, Ardnamurch and kind of way Mallaig was where he was actually, which is where I spent a lot of time as well. And an artist said to me, if you're so into your skies, look at this guy. So I did, and he's a very world famous artist, and I'm never going to be that, but I do keep coming back to how he just distilled everything down to the essence. I don't love everything that he did. Some of it I absolutely adore, but this is a kind of, I guess, me moving in that direction a little bit. John Schuler, if you want to look him up at all. Now, I'm kind of scared to touch this now because I really, really like it, but I need to whiten down this sea. So I'm going to chuckle this white on, and it's going to look really quite fierce, but it's all going to get softened down. And another reason I started doing this painting, I guess, was there are lots of clients in the studio today, which has been lovely. I love having clients in the studio. It does take more time than I always think it will, so I haven't had a lot of time to paint today when I kind of thought I'd be painting all day. I've got lots of deadlines tomorrow as well, lots of paintings going out the door. But anyway, this particular client was a friend of an old client of mine. He'd never been to the studio before, but it was really lovely. He and his wife came and he'd watched my video, and he was talking a lot about Yellow Craigs and how that was his favourite place. I didn't have any Yellow Craig paintings here. I don't do commissions, but if it's something that I paint anyway, it's nice to hear what people kind of want. So I'm always quite happy to say, if it's here in North Berwick, I don't have to go anywhere, and I'm likely to paint it anyway. I'm kind of like, oh, okay, you want one like that? Okay, I will get to that at some point, and if I do, I will send you a picture. That's as close as I really get to commissions. But anyway, so he's talking about Yellow Craigs, and I just kind of realised that I'd spent a lot of time there during lockdown. It kind of, it all depends on your daily routine. My daily routine now is walk the children up to school, then walk back down, then walk onto the harbour beach and walk along there. And I don't have time to get all the way out to Yellow Craigs anymore. But during lockdown, my husband and I had a nice little routine where I would take the kids one day and he would take them the next day for the big giant 2-hour walk. So on my days on my own, I've got to just pick up the dog and walk for miles. Spending time out the house without family. obviously I went quite far all the time, so I spent a lot of time out at Yellow Craig, and just, you know, that sense, you get this at Tinningham as well. We get tons of beaches around the world, but Yellow Craigs and Tinningham are the two beaches locally, right? Where I feel like you get that sense of endless beach, you know, that horizon meeting the sea, and the beach going on forever, and it's so big and so empty and so devoid of human influence. And you know, just chatting to this chap today about Yellow Craig and how much he loves it reminded me how much I loved it. And because I kind of knew I was going to crack out the big canvas, I was like, what do I want to do with this big canvas? I want to do an empty piece. I want to do something that's not fussy and detailed. I think almost the bigger you get in a painting, the less there has to be in it. In a way, you can get away with very tiny, detailed, beautiful work, and then it's intricate and lovely. You get to a certain point, and that much detail is just overwhelming, so you don't really want that anymore. You kind of want to go, well, this is my personal take on it, is the bigger you go, the emptier you go. And just really trying to label on the white and take away whatever definition there actually is in this painting and make it even more misty and whiter. And because this canvas is so big, I actually did, and I do sometimes do this, I tape the horizon, because me trying to just draw this freehand is going to go all over the place. So it is, I can soften it now and I don't have to worry about where it is, because underneath it all there is a straight line. So it's, I'm hoping, I'm thinking about how I'd like this framed already, and I really want it for my big show at Toys Gallery, because this is definitely one that you want. There's no way a photo is going to bring over how this painting works. It's definitely the one that you want to see in the flesh. And I'm quite excited about it, to be quite frank. I'm just going to keep standing back with this one. It's going to be neat to stand back a lot. It's getting there, just keep labeling on the white, I think, and try and make sure it stays really, really empty up here. I don't want lumps of white, I want it one big flow of it. So that horizon line is gradually kind of fading away. It's still there, but it's fading away, which is exactly what I wanted to do with it. The other thing I've got to watch for is too many brush marks, because the light picks up the brush marks, and I don't really like that. I'm just going to get a little bit more white down here as well. Line out this line. Some paintings are just all about throwing on an absence of paint almost. I'm trying to smooth out the lumps. So yeah, I have done lots of videos that I shall hopefully get around to uploading. Sound is still an issue. I still haven't ordered my microphone, but I will do that. I'm sorry if it's very quiet. The phone's a little bit further away because it's such a big painting. It has to be further away so you can kind of see it. I don't want to work too much in the sky because it's kind of fine. Pull it down a wee bit further just to see that properly. Oh, I do the same when I'm taking photos, and I pull the canvas forward, and so it's almost vertical, and then I forget, and the problem is it could quite easily fall out. That would not be good. Not be good at all. trying to soften this down, but I'm barely touching the canvas here, but I'm trying to get rid of some of the big lines in the paint, but it still doesn't seem to be working that well at the moment. What I'm doing is adding more big lines in, so maybe I should just go back to an actual brush of paint in it and do it. I guess I kind of have to just accept that there's going to be brush marks. It's painting. No, I've gone too far. I think if I just more white over here, just sense check. I do need glasses to see, so I can't usually see my paintings, and I paint them eyes half shut, but when I'm looking at them, I try and put my glasses on. The other thing I do a lot is, it's kind of weird, but my camera picks up a lot more detail than my eyes do. Well, I think it ups the contrast. It just does that without me asking it to, which is kind of annoying when I want accurate shots, but it's actually really useful in progress. If I take a photo, it will kind of show up any flaws very quickly. Still trying to kind of keep in mind where this horizon is, so it's suggested that rather than emphasised, but it's not lost altogether. This is, I ordered this canvas, and it should have been a deep one. Instead it's a thin one, it's only sort of that deep, which means I get stretch marks showing through really annoyingly a lot. So I just have to pray they're not too prevalent. I get a bit scared of working around the stretcher bars. So these bits, see, I'm creating corners with it where the stretch bars are now. I'm terrified of overworking this. Really want to keep subtlety. Just very awkwardly standing back here. I'm just going to stop panicking about stretch bars. I'm going to try and soften this horizon line a little bit. So much white in here now, and there's not much paint above it at all. But it's a bit too. Nearly there. I think I may have to turn the camera off now for the last little bits because I really need to think and I lose my train of thought when I'm talking too much. There's a couple of stretching marks I really have to get rid of and I don't know how. So I will keep this as a little short of what happens when you've done a painting that you really like and you're terrified of wrecking it. So it may get wrecked and you may never see it. That's enough for now though, and I'll maybe come back to the last minute or so. Hi there, I'm back for another minute or two. I'm just going to check the camera's running because I just recorded this and it didn't work. Hold on. Yep, it's working this time. So I just wanted to come back and talk a little bit about this painting. It's finished now. I'm not going to touch it anymore. I'm too scared. Artists are always asked, when do you stop a painting? Well, 1, when you get bored. 2, when you're scared of fucking it up too much. Excuse my language. And 3, when you can't see anything really wrong with it, you know? when there's more right than there is wrong, I think is a good stopping point, because there's always, you can fiddle forever with paintings and then you lose the good things. I've watched a lot of the videos I did recently, which I haven't put up yet, and there's so many paintings where there's been a good bit that I've lost. I think, oh damn it, what did I do that for? You know? so I'm stopping, and I love this painting. I'm feeling really proud of it. It's something I've wanted to do for quite a long time now. It's just something really empty, but really that encapsulates everything about being alone on a beach with no horizon, no shoreline, nothing, just the sand merging seamlessly into the sea and the sky. And for me, that's very much about lockdown. That was my experience. I felt incredibly guilty and unlucky I had that experience. I know not everybody did. In fact, I felt bad about posting paintings during that time because I felt like I was boasting about having a beach, which, you know, was a huge, sorry, it's my Wednesday night, having my wine, it was a huge benefit. So this is very much lockdown to me. I think if you didn't have it, this is probably what you craved, you know, is space, emptiness, time, and tranquility, I guess. So anyway, that's it. I just wanted to talk a little at the end. Now I'm finished, and explain why I am happy and excited with this painting. It may not be everyone's cup of tea. I can't tell what other people like. There are paintings I do that I think will fly out the door, and they're still with me 2 years later. And there's paintings I do where I'm kind of like, and it's gone within half an hour of me posting it. So I don't know, but for me, this is something that I like, that I would hang on my wall. And everybody's taste is different, and yeah, but I feel I've gone somewhere good today. We'll see. Anyway, thank you for listening. Cheers.